I want to share my knowledge about C++ programming. I will try to explain every concept with very good examples. This training will consist of many lectures. So let's start our first lecture. What is programming? A program is a precise sequence of steps to solve a particular problem. What is C++ programming? C++ is a statically typed, free-form, multi-paradigm, compiled general-purpose programming language. It is regarded as a high-level language. There are many applications of C++ in the software industry, like system software, application software, device drivers, embedded systems, high-performance server and client applications, entertainment software such as video games. What is compiler? Compiler is a tool that is used to translate or convert human-like language into machine language. There are two things should be clear: human-like language and machine language. Computers can understand only machine language in the form of zeros and ones. Human cannot understand it. So we write the code in high-level language, that is human-like language, and compiler translate it in the form of zeros and ones for computer execution. C, C++, Java are high-level languages. After understand these basic concepts, we move to our very first program in C++. So let's start. This is our first program. Sharp include less than sign, iostream.h, greater than sign, main, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, open curly brace, cout, less than, quotation mark, hello world, quotation mark, semicolon, close curly brace. We will look at this code line by line and try to understand them. Sharp include. This is a preprocessor directive. It tells the C compiler to include the contents of a file written on next. In this case, iostream.h is the system file to be included. iostream.h. This is a predefined system file of C++ standard library for all input-output streams. Main with parentheses. Our actual program in C or C++ start with main parentheses. It is a predefined function of C or C++, and curly braces are the body of this function. Braces are very important in C. They enclose the blocks of the program. Notice that there are parentheses with main. Here the parentheses contain nothing. There may be something written inside the parentheses. Cout, less than sign. This is known as output stream in C or C++. It is used to write data on screen. After less than sign, the thing within quotation marks is known as character string. It's mean the string within quotation marks display on screen. Semicolon. All C or C++ statements end with semicolon. Missing of semicolon at the end of statement is a syntax error and compiler will report an error during compilation of C++ programming. We also wrote our first C++ program and discussed it line by line. Today we are going to discuss the working of dev C++ compiler, and we will execute our first program in dev C++. Dev C++ is an open source software and you can download it from this link. This is our first program and I will show you how do we compile it with dev C++. First of all, you have to install dev C++ on your PC. Go to Start, All Programs, dev C++. File, New, Source file. First of all, save it on anywhere. Save. I save it C drive ex01. Save. Yes. Execute, compile and run. Our program has been compiled. Go to D drive. This is our source file that is we saved before compilation, and after compilation it created a object file with the same name, so we run it. Start, run, cmd. Go to D drive. D drive. See. Write the name of file ex01 dot exe. Our program has been run. Today we are going to discuss the variables in programming. The variable is the most important concept in programming, so we have to spend much time to understand it. Variables. During programming we need to store data. This data is stored on memory. Variables are the name of locations in memory where the data is stored. The memory is divided into different blocks for storing data. Each memory block or location has a specific numerical address for access it. So we give a name to these locations. These names are called variables. Reason for named them as variables is that the value of these is changed with the time. C++ imposes fairly strict rules on how you can name your variables. These rules are: Variable names must begin with a letter. Variable names are case sensitive. For example, the variable my number is different from the variable my number. You see, in this variable name the first letter of second word is capital, but in this variable name all letters are capitals. So these cannot same thing, which is different from the variable my number, all mixed letters. Variable names cannot have spaces. Variable names cannot have special characters. What can you name your variables? In general, variable names can be composed of letters, numbers, and underscores. However, C++ reserves certain keywords which have special meaning to the language, and you are not allowed to use any of these keywords as variables names. Some examples of C++ keywords are int, for, else, and class. The variable names in C or C++ may be started with a character or an underscore, but avoid starting a name with underscore. C or C++ has many libraries which contain variables and functions names normally starting with underscore. So, your variable name starting with underscore may conflict with these variables or function names. How can assign value to variables? In C or C++ language, equal to sign is used to assign value to variables. It is called assignment operator. Do not confuse the algebraic equal to with the assignment operator. Let's see this example. In algebra, x is equal to 3 means the value of x is 3. In other words, the x and 3 are equal, whereas in C or C++ language, x is a variable name and x is equal to 3 means take the value 3 and put it in the memory location labeled as x. In other words, it's mean the value 3 is assigned to the variable x. In this example, x, y and z are variables. X is equal to 5 means the value 5 is assigned to the variable named x. Y is equal to 10 means the value 10 is assigned to the variable named y, and z is equal to x plus y means the values of x and y add up together and the result is assigned or stored in the variable z. Now is the time of end lecture. Next time we will continue.
Hi there, welcome back to the 5th lecture of C++ programming tutorial series. We are sorry, we are come too late with new video tutorial. Maybe I have a robotic voice but I am a human inside. Anyways, that is our excuse, so now we can get back into C++. In the previous videos we have discussed the introduction of C++ and also the variables used in programming. Today in this video we will briefly discuss about the various data types in C++ programming, and demonstrate the data types using ensemble programs. Keep watch this video till the end. A variable must have a data type associated with it. For example, it can have data types like integer, decimal numbers, characters, etc. The variable of type integer stores integer values and a character type variable stores character value. The primary difference between various data types is their size in memory. Different data types have different size in memory depending on the machine and compilers. These also affect the way they are displayed. The cout knows how to display a digit and a character. There are few data types in C language. These data types are reserved words of C language. The reserved words cannot be used as a variable name. Let's take a look into different data types that the C language provides us to deal with whole numbers, real numbers, and character data. The C language provides three data types to handle whole numbers: int, short, and long. The data type, int, is used to store whole numbers, integers. The integer type has a space of 4 bytes in memory. And it is mentioned as int, which is a reserved word of C. So we cannot use it as a variable name. In programming, before using any variable name, we have to declare that variable, with its data type. For example, if we are using an integer variable, named as x, we have to declare it as int x. This line is known as declaration statement. When we declare a variable in this way, it reserves some space in memory, depending on the size of data type, and labels it with the variable name. The declaration statement int x reserves 4 bytes of memory and labels it as x. This happens at the execution time. Let's consider a simple example to explain int data type. In this example, we take two integers, add them, and display the answer on the screen. The code of the program is written as. In this program, the first 3 lines declare 3 variables, a, b, and c. These 3 declarations could also be written on one line. C provides us the comma separator. These 3 lines can be written in a single line as int a, b, c, semicolon. As we know that semicolon indicates the end of the statement. So we can write many statements on a single line. In this way, we can also write these declarations in this form. Int a, semicolon, int b, semicolon, int c, semicolon. For good programming practice, write a single statement on a single line. Now we assign values to variables, a, and b, by using assignment operator. The lines, a, is equal to 5, and b, is equal to 10, assign the values 5 and 10 to the variables, a, and b, respectively. These statements put the values, 5 and 10 to the memory locations labeled as, a, and b. The next statement, c is equal to, a, plus b, evaluates the expression on right-hand side. It takes values stored in variables, a, and b, which are 5 and 10 respectively, as them, and by using the assignment operator, puts the value of the result, which is 15 in this example, to the memory location labeled as C. Here a thing to be noted is that the values of A and B remains the same after this operation. In arithmetic operations, the values of variables used in expression on the right-hand side are not affected. They remain the same. But a statement like A is equal to A plus 1 is an exceptional case. In this case the value of A is changed. The next line, cout, less than quotation mark, A, equal to sign, quotation mark, is simple. It just displays, A, equal to sign, on the screen. Now we want to display the value of A, after A, equal to sign. For this, we write the statement, cout, less than, A. Here comes the effect of data type on cout. The previous statement, cout, less than quotation mark, A, equal to sign, quotation mark, has a character string after less than sign, and cout simply displays the string. In the statement cout, less than, A, there is a variable name, A. Now cout will not display A, but the value of A. The cout interprets that A is a variable of integer type. It goes to the location A in the memory and takes its value and displays it in integer form on the screen. The next line, cout, less than, quotation mark, B, equal to sign, quotation mark, displays, B, equal to sign, on the screen. And line cout, less than, B, displays the value of, B, on the screen. Thus we see that when we write something in quotation marks it is displayed as it is, but when we use a variable name, it displays the value of the variable, not name of the variable. The next two lines, cout, less than, quotation mark, C, equal to sign, A, plus B, equal to sign, quotation mark, and cout, less than, C, are written to display, C, equal to sign, A, plus B, equal to sign, and the value of, C, that is 15. Now when we execute the program after compiling, we get this output. We have discussed earlier that the int data type occupies 4 bytes in memory. So if we have to store a small integer, like 2, 15 or 20, 4 bytes would be used. The C or C++ language provides another data type for storing small whole numbers, which is called short. The size of short is 2 bytes. We can write the previous sample program by using short instead of int. On the other hand, if we have a very large whole number that cannot be stored in an int, then we use the data type long, provided by C or C++ language. So when we are going to deal with very big whole numbers in our program, we use long data type. We use it in program as previously we have discussed the data types of whole numbers comprehensively. Now we are going to discuss the data types of real numbers. The real numbers are numbers with decimal points, for example 2.55, 526.768. The real numbers are also known as floating point numbers. The C or C++ language provides 2 data types to deal with real numbers, float and double. To store real numbers, float data type is used. The float data type uses 4 bytes to store a real number. Here is program that uses float data types. Double is another data type of real numbers. If we need to store a large real number which cannot be stored in 4 bytes, then we use double data type. Normally the size of double is twice the size of float. In program we use it as So far we have been looking on data types to store numbers. In programming we do need to store characters like A, B, C, etc. For storing the character data, C or C++ language provides char data type. By using char data type, we can store characters in variables. While assigning a character value to a char type variable, single quotes are used around the character as Hi there, welcome back to the 6th lecture of C++ programming tutorial series. In the previous lesson we have discussed the various data types in C++ programming. Today in this video we will briefly discuss the operators in C++, and at the end of lesson we will write and run a sample program. Watch this video till the end. In programming, an operator is a symbol that is used to perform specific mathematical or a logical operation on operands. In other words, we can say that an operator operates the operands. A mathematical or a logical expression is generally formed with the help of an operator. For example, consider this statement. Here, plus is the operator known as addition operator, and x and y are operands. The addition operator tells the compiler to add both of the operands x and y. C++ provides the following types of operators: assignment operator, arithmetic operators, relational operators, and logical operators. Assignment operators are used to assign value to a variable. Equals sign is used for assignment operator. The left side operand of the assignment operator is a variable and right side operand of the assignment operator is a value. The value on the right side must be of the same data type of variable on the left side, otherwise the compiler will raise an error. For example, x equals 5. This statement assigns the integer value 5 to the variable x. Consider another example. X equals y. In this statement, assigns to variable x the value contained in variable y. The value of x, at the moment this statement is executed, is lost and replaced by the value of y. Arithmetic operators used to perform basic mathematical operations, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. All these operators are binary operators, which means they operate on two operands. There is one thing to note in division, that, when we use integer division, that is both operands are integers, yields an integer result. This means that, for example, if you are dividing 5 by 2, it will give integer result as 2, instead of actual result 2.5. Thus in integer division, the result is truncated to the whole number, the fractional part, after decimal, is ignored. If we want to get the correct result, then we should use float data type. The modulus operator returns the remainder after division. For example, if we divide 5 by 2, then the remainder will be 1. So the result of 5 modulus 2 will be 1. This operator can only be used with integer operands. When several operations occur in an expression, each part is evaluated and resolved in a predetermined order called operator precedence. This table explains the precedence of the arithmetic operators. When expressions contain operators from more than one category, the parentheses are used to force the evaluation order. The operators in the parentheses are evaluated first. The operators, multiplication, division and modulus, have the highest precedence after parentheses, and are evaluated next. Addition and subtraction operators are evaluated last, because they have the lowest precedence. If in an expression, all operators are equal precedence, then they are evaluated in the left to right order in which they appear. Let's look some examples. What is the result of 10 plus 2, multiplication 8? The answer is 26, not 96. As multiplication has higher precedence than plus, so 2, multiplication 8, is evaluated first, and then the answer 16 is added to 10 and we get the result 26. If the same expression rewritten as will give the result 96. Note that how the parentheses affect the evaluation of an expression. Relational operators are used for comparison of the values of two operands. Some of the most important relational operators that are used in programming languages are shown in this table. The logical operators are those operators which return a false or true result over a conditional expression. And, or, and not are logical operators. Here is a sample program to calculate the percentage of marks. Prompt the user to enter the obtained marks for 5 subjects. In this program we used cin. Cin is the counterpart of the cout. Cin is the input stream that gets data from the user, and assigns it to the variable on its right side. When we run the program after compilation in command prompt, the results are Thanks for watching.